Hi guys, today we're going to be doing lesson 8. So our first topic is adding tens. So we're going to start with number 1 for our first example. It says 10 plus 90 equals a blank. So we're trying to find what that equals. So we'll rewrite the question on the side vertically so it's easier to visualize. So first we have 0 plus 0, which equals 0. If you look at all of the questions on this page, each addend ends with the number 0. So that makes it a lot easier because we know that 0 plus 0 is always going to equal 0. So each answer on this page is always going to end with 0. So now we're left with 1 plus 9. And 1 plus 9 equals 10. You can draw or count. You have 1 and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. If you count it all up, this equals 10. So 1 plus 9 equals 10. So that's 100. Another way you can think of it is we're just adding 1 and 9, which equals 10. And then we have the zeros at the end right here, which kind of makes it easier for some people. So if that's easier to think of it that way, then that's a good idea too. Okay, so now we have number 3. It says 30 plus 40. We're going to be doing the same thing. 0 plus 0 equals 0, and then 3 plus 4, if you count or add, you'll find that 3 plus 4 equals 7. So 30 plus 40 equals 70. Okay, now we'll move on to subtracting tens. Now we'll start with number 2 for our first example here. So we'll rewrite the question again here. 0 minus 0 equals 0. This page 2, each number ends with the number 0, so all the answers will also end with the number 0 because 0 minus 0 equals 0. Now since we did 0 minus 0 here, we'll move on to 7 minus 2. You can draw like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and then cross out 2, or you can count or use mental math. We're left with 5. So 7 minus 2 equals 5. So 70 minus 20 equals 50. Again, you can just think of it as 7 minus 2 equals 5, which is a more condensed way for the 70 minus 20 equals 50 because we know the zeros are always going to end with 0. So you have number 5 right here, 100 minus 40. Again, these zeros cancel and end in 0 because 0 subtracting 0 is going to be 0. And then now we have 10 minus 4. 10 minus 4 equals 6. So 60. 100 minus 40 equals 60. Lastly, we'll do number 10. We have 30 minus 30. Since we're subtracting the same number from itself, we know it's going to equal 0. But if you write it out, you have 0 minus 0 again, and then 3 minus 3, if you have 3 things, you take away 3, you're left with a 0. So, yeah, 30 minus 30 equals 0. Now, our next topic is expanded form to numbers. So let's start with number 3. We're given the expanded form right here of a number. We're trying to find that number. So again, this is a 0 right here. So if you add like this, 10 plus 9, because it's a 0, we know that the ones place is going to be a 9 because 0 isn't adding or subtracting anything. It's not changing the 9. So 0 plus 9 equals 9. And then there's nothing under the 1, so bring it down. So what we're doing here essentially is we're just taking the first digit of each addend. So it's 1 and 9. We're going to put it together to get 19. Similarly, for number 6, we have 100 plus 20 plus 9. And we're going to be taking the first digit. We have 1, 2, and 9. So that's 129. You can test it out and rewrite the question like we did earlier. 100 plus 20 plus 9. Again, 0 plus 0 equals 0. So we're just going to take the number 9. 0 plus 2 equals 2. So we're going to bring that number down, 2. And then there's nothing under the 1, so we'll bring it down. So that's 129. So this 2 fills in for this 0, and this 9 fills in for the ones place zeros, if that makes sense. And lastly, we're going to be doing word problems. So we'll start with number 5. we have the question, Brian has 2 quarters and 4 dimes. How much more money does he need to have $1? So $1 is basically 100 cents. They're the same thing. So if he has 2 quarters and 4 dimes, how much more money does he need to have 100 cents? So let's draw the 2 quarters here. We know that 1 quarter equals 25 cents. We'll draw out the coins here. 25 cents. So this is 1 quarter. This is 2 quarters. And then 4 dimes. So that's 10 cents each. So 1 dime, 2 dime, 3, 4. So this is how much money Brian has. And let's add it all up to find how much cents that equals to. So 25 plus 25. We know that 5 plus 5 equals 10. So it's a 0. The 1 up here. 1 plus 2 equals 3. 3 plus 2 equals 5. So 25 plus 25 equals 50. So these 2 quarters equal 50 cents. Now we'll add 2 dimes. Take it like 2 dimes at a time to make it easier. 0 plus 0 is 0. 5 plus 1 is 6. And we'll add another dime. 0 plus 0. And then 6 plus 1 is just 7. So we added 1 dime here and 2 dimes here. So we'll cross those out. Now we'll add 2 more dimes. 70 plus 10 plus 10. 0 plus 0 plus 0. And then 7 plus 1, which is 8. And then 8 plus 1 here equals 9. So we added the last 2 dimes. We have dime number 3 and dime number 4 right here. So Brian has 90 cents to start with. So how much more money does he need to have 100 cents? We'll subtract to find the difference. Okay, 0 minus 0 equals 0. And then now we're left with 10 minus 9. 10 take away 9 is 1. So that's 1 in the 10th place. So Brian needs 10 more cents to have $1. So that's how you do that problem. And we'll move on to the next question. It says, Jane had $1/2, 3 nickels, and 2 dimes. She buys a toy for 60 cents. How much change should she receive? Or like how much money will she have left? And you'd say change if she gave the cashier $1/2, 3 nickels, and 2 dimes. And the amount of money she's getting back from the cashier would be the change. So anyways, we'll look at how much money she has to start with. $1/2, which is 50 cents. So 1 of these coins and 3 nickels, so that's 5 cents. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 dimes, which is 10 cents. So 1, 2. We'll add it all up to see how much she has in terms of cents. So we'll add the 5s. We'll add 2 5s first. So 5 plus 5, equals 10. Sorry, that's supposed to be a plus sign, not an F. 5 plus 5 equals 10. So these 2 coins equals 10. We'll start with the zeros first to make it easier. We'll add the $1/2. 0 plus 0, and then 1 plus 5, 60. So these 3 coins equal 60 cents. We'll add the 2 dimes. Plus 10, plus 10. 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 0. 6 plus 1 equals 7. 7 plus 1 equals 8. So that's 80 cents. We have 1 nickel left. So we'll add a 5. 0 plus 5 equals 5. And we'll bring down the 8. So Jane starts off with 85 cents. Now she buys a toy for 60 cents. So we'll subtract 60 to find the difference, or how much she'll have left, or how much change she'll receive. So 5 minus 0 equals 5. 8 minus 6 equals 2. So that's how much change she should receive if she gives the cashier $1/2, 3 nickels, and 2 dimes. So the answer, 25 cents. Okay, I hope that was helpful. I hope it was clear and helped you understand.